I mean, I think that's a grade A signing when we're thinking about coaching. I think that's a grade A signing for North Carolina. I hate it because I heard that he was on the radar for Orlando to be a potential replacement for the head coach that we currently got. So this means that we got to go back to the drawing board to see who could be, you know. I mean, not that Orlando would have made a move before the end of this season anyway, because it just wouldn't make no sense, but they probably could have had some strong discussions behind the scenes. But anyway, forget that. But yeah, as far as North Carolina though, this is from a coaching X's and O's leading leading a team perspective, this is a grade A signing for them. Um, I hate that Hubert Davis got did the way that he did, and I think that um part of that comes from being a black man, being a head coach for a Southern team like North Carolina, because that element of stuff definitely still exists, especially down there where that Confederate flag flies with pride. So I I hate that for him. Um, did he show that he could coach a team pretty well? Yeah, he did. Um, Matter of fact, that team that he coached, I think like when he first got there, he coached the team to the NCAA championship. So it's not like he wasn't capable of doing the job. But the whole thing is for Hubert Davis or for Mike Malone, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really make a difference. With the way college sports is now, it's all about, can you lure the right players to come to your institution, and a lot of that happens by way of the transfer portal now, with the NIL deals and the contracts and stuff like that. And that even impacts recruiting. Players will go to a college school um, based on how strong they contract will be with the NIL. So it's kind of pretty much turned college sports into minor leagues. So if he can be successful with that, then he's gonna have a chance to not only stay in the conversation but to win a championship. But if he's just staying in the conversation, he's gonna be no different than what Hubert Davis was. So I mean, obviously the results is gonna have to wait to be seen. Um, this is North Carolina bringing in another coach from the pros to their collegiate level, because Bill Belichick is still over there. So yeah, as far as that is, I mean, you would think that that rings to the kids, but I think kids are more concerned about getting to the bag, as they say, coming out of high school, and they want to be able to make money. So, which is, I can't necessarily fault them for it, but if this is your career path, you need to look at it long term instead of short term. So, but we'll see what happens with it, because when you in college, you competing with a lot of other big time institutions, a lot of other proven coaches, a lot of other winning programs when it comes to college, especially with basketball, because it's not just the big suspects that you normally see with football. Like basketball, that branches out to a whole bunch of other schools that don't even have a football team. So, uh, yeah, like to name a few of those, like St. John's, Georgetown, Marquette, like all of those schools like that. So he's got more competition being in college now than he did when he was in the pros. And that's for any coach, to be honest with you. So we'll see how he handles that part, because In the pros, he didn't really have to worry about recruiting players to come and play for him. He just was able to either draft and develop, or he was able to, essentially sign in free agency. So, and you only had what 29 other organizations, 29 other teams to compete with in the NBA, and of those 29 other teams, maybe 10 of them was considered strong competition because of winning. So, he definitely got a whole lot more competition. Any coach has a whole lot more competition when it comes to college, which is that branches off into what kind of relationships he can build with high school coaches now. Because a whole lot of these recruits and coaches and whatnot, they're able to get these players to commit to them because they already have a strong relationship with certain high school coaches. That's part of that's what they call a pipeline. A whole lot of these coaches, they already got developed pipelines. So Mike Malone, he's gonna have to develop him some pipelines where he can find the players that fit what he wants, and that kind of thing. It normally takes time to develop that. So we'll see how long this lasts.